In the vast, uncharted depths of our oceans exists a tiny creature that has achieved something humans have dreamed of for millennia: eternal life. Meet the Turritopsis dorni, better known as the immortal jellyfish. This minuscule marvel of nature has the unique ability to literally turn back the clock. Despite its legendary status, it's incredibly tiny, measuring only about 4.5 millimeters across. That's smaller than your pinky nail. Through its transparent body, you can clearly see its bright red stomach, but its most remarkable feature is hidden within its very cells. First discovered in the Mediterranean in 1883, it wasn't until the 1990s that scientists realized this jellyfish was doing something impossible. They found that instead of dying when it reached the end of its life, it could simply start over. This is biological immortality. Most jellyfish follow a linear path, from a tiny larva to a polyp and finally to a free-swimming medusa. And then they die. But for the immortal jellyfish, the medusa stage isn't the end. When stressed or damaged, it can revert back to its earlier polyp stage. The jellyfish shrinks, its tentacles retract, and it settles on the seabed as a blob of tissue called a cyst. From this cyst, a new polyp colony grows, which then produces new, genetically identical jellyfish. The cycle begins again. The secret is a process called transdifferentiation. Specialized adult cells transform into entirely different types of cells. It's like a butterfly turning back into a caterpillar or a bird reverting to an egg. Its biological clock is literally reset to zero. This reversal is often triggered by physical damage, starvation, or even old age. It's the ultimate survival mechanism. While it can't die of old age, it's not invincible. In the ocean, many still succumb to disease or predators before they can transform. Originally from the Mediterranean, these tiny immortals have now spread across the globe, hitching rides in the ballast water of cargo ships. This silent invasion has allowed them to colonize temperate and tropical waters worldwide, from Japan to the Caribbean. To fuel this incredible life, they are active hunters, feeding primarily on zooplankton, fish eggs, and small mollusks. They drift through the water, their long, stinging tentacles acting like a deadly net to paralyze unsuspecting prey. Once caught, the prey is pulled toward the mouth. Even at this size, they are efficient and effective carnivores. Scientists are now racing to unlock the genetic secrets of this jellyfish. They hope its ability to reprogram cells could help us. Understanding how they repair their DNA and reset their biological clock could lead to breakthroughs in anti-aging and regenerative medicine. Imagine a future where we can treat degenerative diseases by mimicking the cellular reprogramming of a creature smaller than a fingernail. The immortal jellyfish reminds us that the ocean still holds secrets beyond our wildest imagination. A tiny reminder of life's incredible resilience. A creature that conquered time, drifting silently in the blue, the tiny master of the eternal. Welcome to the mysterious world of the deep blue, where nature hides its most incredible secrets. Today, we explore a creature that has mastered the secret of eternal life. Deep beneath the waves, there exists a biological anomaly that defies everything we know about aging. Meet Turritopsis dorni, commonly known as the immortal jellyfish. It is a tiny marvel of the natural world. For almost every living thing on Earth, life is a one-way street. We are born, we grow, we age, and eventually we die. That's the cycle we all understand. But this tiny jellyfish, no larger than a pinky nail, has found a way to turn the street of life into a giant loop. When threatened by old age, physical injury, or extreme environmental stress, this jellyfish doesn't just perish, it takes a different path. Instead of dying, it undergoes a remarkable biological process. It essentially hits the reset button on its entire existence. Its specialized cells physically transform back into their earliest developmental stages, a process scientists call transdifferentiation. To put it in human terms, it would be like an adult human reverting back into a toddler to start their entire life cycle over again. The jellyfish shrinks, its tentacles retract, and it settles on the ocean floor as a polyp, a stationary, plant-like stage of its life. From this polyp state, a new colony of genetically identical jellyfish can emerge, effectively cloning itself to live another life. This cycle allows the jellyfish to bypass the traditional end of life. It can do this over and over, potentially forever under perfect conditions. This is what scientists call biological immortality. While it can still be killed by predators or disease, it will never die of old age. It floats through the vast oceans as a living testament to the incredible resilience and adaptability of life on our planet. Researchers around the world are fascinated by this tiny creature. They are studying its genome to unlock the secrets of its cellular regeneration. By understanding how these cells transform, we might gain insights into human aging and the potential for regenerative medicine. The dream is that one day, the lessons learned from the immortal jellyfish could help us combat degenerative diseases and extend healthy human life. But beyond the science, there is the sheer wonder of it. Nature has evolved a solution for immortality in a creature that most of us would barely notice. It reminds us that the ocean is full of wonders that we are only just beginning to understand and appreciate. The immortal jellyfish continues its silent journey, resetting its clock and starting anew, time after time, in the heart of the sea. As we continue to explore the depths, who knows what other secrets are waiting to be discovered in the vast blue unknown. The story of the immortal jellyfish is a story of hope, resilience, and the infinite possibilities of life. Thank you for diving into this wonder with us. Stay curious and keep exploring the incredible world around you. We'll see you in the next deep sea adventure. Deep beneath the ocean's surface lies a creature that defies the very laws of life and death. Meet Turritopsis dorni, the immortal jellyfish. Once confused with its cousin Turritopsis nutricula, this tiny marvel was reclassified in 2006 as the true immortal species. Measuring just 4.5 millimeters, it features a translucent bell and a distinctive bright red stomach. Though likely originating in the Mediterranean, these jellyfish have become global hitchhikers, spreading via the ballast water of cargo ships. Their journey begins as tiny planula larvae drifting until they find a hard surface to call home. Once settled, they grow into a colony of polyps, genetically identical clones waiting for their next stage. From these polyps, tiny free-swimming medusae bud off, beginning their life as independent jellyfish. As they mature, they reach a stage where most creatures prepare for the end. But for the Turritopsis dorni, it's just a potential new beginning. When faced with physical assault, sickness, or even old age, this jellyfish does something extraordinary. It hits a biological reset button through a process called transdifferentiation. The medusa's bell contracts, its tentacles disappear, and it transforms back into a simple cluster of tissue. This cyst-like stage is where the magic happens, as mature cells transform into entirely new types. Muscle cells can become nerve cells or even reproductive cells in a complete cellular overhaul. This cluster then metamorphoses back into a new polyp colony, starting the life cycle all over again. Theoretically, this cycle can repeat indefinitely, making the jellyfish biologically immortal. However, immortality isn't invulnerability. In the wild, they are still prey to sea turtles, tuna, and sharks. Disease or physical harm can still end their lives before they have a chance to reset. When they aren't cheating death, they are active hunters, using stinging cells to catch zooplankton and fish eggs. This unique ability has made them a focal point for scientific research into aging and regeneration. Genomic analysis has revealed duplications of genes essential for DNA repair during their rejuvenation process. Scientists haven't found a single immortality gene, suggesting a complex molecular program at work. Insights from this tiny jellyfish could one day lead to breakthroughs in regenerative medicine and anti-aging tech for humans. Compared to other hydrozoans, Turritopsis dorni is truly unique in its ability to reverse its aging. From its humble origins in the Mediterranean, it has conquered the world's oceans. It is a small creature with a mighty secret, reminding us of the incredible wonders hidden in our oceans. Nature's immortal masterpiece continues to swim, perhaps forever. The wonder of the immortal jellyfish. The immortal jellyfish represents one of the most astonishing discoveries in marine biology, showing that nature can achieve something close to true immortality. In a simple, brainless creature, we find a secret that has eluded humanity for millennia, the ability to live forever. Meet Turritopsis dorni. It's no larger than a pinky nail, but its biological capabilities are truly gargantuan. First discovered in the Mediterranean Sea in the late 19th century, its unique secret wasn't fully understood until the 1990s. When faced with physical damage or even starvation, this jellyfish doesn't die. Instead, it reverses its life cycle. It settles on the seafloor and returns to its earliest form, a colony of polyps, effectively hitting the reset button on its life. This process is called transdifferentiation. It's when a mature cell transforms into an entirely different type of specialized cell. Imagine if your skin cells could suddenly become heart cells or brain cells to rebuild your entire body from scratch. In theory, this process can go on indefinitely, making the jellyfish biologically immortal. It only dies if it's eaten or succumbed to disease. Originally from the Mediterranean, these silent hitchhikers have now spread to oceans all over the world. They travel in the ballast tanks of cargo ships, surviving long journeys to colonize new territories. From the coasts of Japan to the waters of Florida, the immortal jellyfish is becoming a global citizen of the deep. But why should we care about a tiny, brainless creature? Because their genes might hold the key to human medicine. Researchers are studying the jellyfish genome to understand how they manage to bypass the aging process entirely. The hope is that one day we could apply these regenerative secrets to treat age-related diseases and organ damage in humans. Of course, humans are vastly more complex than jellyfish. We have brains, hearts, and trillions of specialized cells. The jellyfish achieves immortality without even having a brain. It's a masterpiece of biological simplicity. The ocean still hides many mysteries, and Turritopsis dorni is just one example of how much we have yet to learn. Its existence challenges our very definition of life and death, forcing us to rethink what is possible in nature. In the cycle of the immortal jellyfish, there is no end, only a new beginning, over and over again. It serves as a reminder that the deep sea is a frontier of endless wonder and scientific breakthrough. As we continue to explore the blue heart of our planet, who knows what other impossible creatures we might find? The immortal jellyfish, a tiny creature with a message that will echo through science for generations to come. Imagine a creature that can cheat death, not through fiction, but through biology. Today we explored the mysterious immortal jellyfish. Deep in the Mediterranean Sea, a tiny secret was discovered in 1883. It took over a century for us to realize its true nature. Known as Turritopsis dorni, this hydrozoan is barely 4 millimeters wide, about the size of your pinky nail. For decades, it was just another jellyfish. But in the 1990s, scientists noticed something absolutely impossible about its life cycle. Most jellyfish follow a standard path. They live, spawn, and eventually die. But this species has a unique survival mechanism. When faced with environmental stress or physical damage, it doesn't just perish, it undergoes a radical biological transformation. Through a process called transdifferentiation, it reverts its specialized cells back to their earliest, most versatile states. It essentially turns its adult body back into a ball of tissue, which then settles on the seabed as a brand new polyp colony. From these polyps, new genetically identical medusae emerge. The biological clock has been completely reset for a new life. This cycle can theoretically repeat forever, making the creature biologically immortal in the eyes of the scientific community. But immortality doesn't mean it's unkillable. They are still preyed upon by fish, sea slugs, and other larger marine animals. Beyond their biology, these jellyfish are world-class travelers, thriving in various ocean environments across the entire globe. The immortal jellyfish is now found worldwide in temperate to tropical oceans, spreading silently across every major sea. This is thanks to its ability to hitchhike in ship ballast water as an excellent and highly resilient oceanic traveler. Cargo ships take in massive amounts of water for stability, accidentally scooping up these tiny polyps and medusae along the way. When ships discharge this water at new ports, the jellyfish colonize new territories, thousands of miles from where they began. Genetic testing reveals that populations across the globe are remarkably similar, essentially clones of the same original group. Scientists are fascinated by this. The real interest lies in their incredible ability for cellular reprogramming and renewal. If we can understand how they reset their cells, we might unlock secrets to human aging and new regenerative medicines. Researchers in stem cell biology are studying Turritopsis to find ways to repair damaged human tissue and treat age-related diseases. They remind us that the ocean still holds vast mysteries that challenge our fundamental understanding of life and death itself. From the Mediterranean to every corner of the globe, this tiny hitchhiker has mastered the art of starting over again and again. Next time you look at the sea, remember the creature that doesn't just survive, it resets the very clock of life. In the depths of our oceans lives a creature that has discovered the secret to eternal life. Meet Turritopsis dorni, the immortal jellyfish. It is the only known animal that can reverse its aging process. First described in 1883, its incredible ability wasn't fully understood until a lucky laboratory observation in the 1980s. Scientists were shocked to find adult medusae reverting back to their juvenile polyp state when stressed or damaged. This process, known as transdifferentiation, allows its cells to transform into entirely different types. Effectively, it resets its biological clock, returning to its earliest form to grow all over again. Originally from the Mediterranean, these tiny hitchhikers have now spread to oceans worldwide. Today, researchers study their DNA in hopes of unlocking secrets that could one day benefit human medicine. While they aren't invincible, they remind us that nature still holds profound mysteries. The immortal jellyfish, a tiny marvel challenging everything we know about life and time. The ocean holds many secrets, but none as miraculous as the Turritopsis dorni. Commonly known as the immortal jellyfish, this tiny creature has mastered the art of living forever. Hi! Today we're diving into the incredible biology of a creature that literally refuses to die. Despite its name, it doesn't just live a long time, it physically reverses its age. Under normal conditions, these jellyfish grow, reproduce, and eventually die. But they have a backup plan. When faced with physical stress, starvation, or old age, the Turritopsis dorni triggers a biological reset. It begins a process called transdifferentiation, where its mature cells return to their earliest form. It transforms into a blob-like cyst, shedding its bells and tentacles. This tiny mass of cells sinks to the seafloor, protected from the harsh environment above. This isn't the end. It's actually a concentrated package of life ready to start over. On the seafloor, the cyst begins its metamorphosis within just 24 to 36 hours. It develops into a new polyp colony, the very first stage of the jellyfish life cycle. From this colony, hundreds of genetically identical jellyfish will eventually bud and swim away. It's essentially a reset button for life, allowing the creature to bypass death entirely. Scientists are fascinated by this process. How can cells completely change their identity? Transdifferentiation is the key. A muscle cell can essentially become a nerve cell or a skin cell. This ability to reprogram cells is unique in the animal kingdom on such a massive scale. Research into the jellyfish's genome is helping us understand aging and regenerative medicine. Could these tiny creatures hold the secret to healing damaged human tissues? It's a bold hope. Because they are so resilient, these jellyfish have spread across the world's oceans in ship ballast water. They are now found in nearly every sea, from the Caribbean to the Mediterranean. While they are small, their impact on local ecosystems is something marine biologists monitor closely. Of course, immortal doesn't mean invincible. They can still be eaten by predators. Or they can succumb to disease before they have the chance to transform. It's important to distinguish between biological immortality and literal invulnerability. Yet, in a world where everything eventually ends, the Turritopsis dorni is a stunning outlier. It reminds us that nature still has many wonders left for us to discover. The life cycle of this jellyfish is a testament to the sheer resilience and creativity of life on Earth. Next time you look at the sea, remember the tiny masters of immortality floating beneath the waves. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to keep exploring the wonders of our blue planet. In the depths of our oceans lies a creature that defies the very laws of nature. Meet the Turritopsis dorni, the world's only known immortal jellyfish. It has no brain, no heart, no blood, and no bones, a marvel of biological simplicity. Yet it achieves a survival strategy that seems like science fiction. When threatened or old, it can actually hit the rewind button on its own life. Through a process called transdifferentiation, its adult cells transform back to their earliest states. It transforms itself back into a tiny polyp, starting its entire life cycle all over again. Scientists are studying these tiny creatures to see if they hold the key to human healing and longevity. They are a reminder of the incredible mysteries waiting to be discovered in the deep. Nature never ceases to amaze. What other secrets are hidden in our oceans? Deep in the ocean, there's a creature that has mastered the secret to eternal life, the immortal jellyfish. Known scientifically as Turritopsis dorni, this tiny marvel can do something no other animal can. It can fully reverse its life cycle. When faced with stress, injury, or old age, it doesn't die. Instead, it reverts from an adult back to a colonial polyp stage. Through a process called transdifferentiation, its cells essentially reprogram themselves, allowing the jellyfish to start its life over again. Theoretically, this cycle can repeat forever, making them biologically immortal. They are the only known animals to bypass death this way. Originally from the Caribbean, these silent hitchhikers have now spread to oceans all across the globe. They remind us that the ocean still holds mysteries that challenge everything we know about life. The immortal jellyfish, a small wonder living a life without an end. Thanks for watching. Have you ever wondered if biological immortality is possible? In our oceans, one tiny creature has already solved that mystery. This is Turritopsis dorni, widely known as the immortal jellyfish. It's the only animal that can cheat death. Adults are incredibly small, only about 4.5 millimeters, yet they possess a biological superpower. First identified in 1883, its ability to reverse its life cycle wasn't confirmed until the late 20th century. An adult medusa can have up to 90 white tentacles lining the edge of its bell. It uses these tentacles to capture tiny planktonic prey, fish eggs, and even small larvae. To understand how it lives forever, we need to look at its incredible life cycle. Most jellyfish follow a one-way street. They grow from larvae to polyps, then eventually to medusae. It starts as a planula larva, which swims until it finds a place to settle on the seafloor. The larva grows into a polyp colony, which eventually buds off new tiny medusae into the ocean. But Turritopsis dorni can hit the reverse button whenever it faces stress or injury. Through a process called transdifferentiation, its specialized cells transform back into youthful states. Essentially, the adult medusa turns back into a polyp, effectively resetting its biological age to 0. This process can happen over and over, meaning the jellyfish could theoretically live forever. Because they are practically immortal, they've managed to spread to oceans all over the globe. They often travel in the ballast water of cargo ships, appearing in new ecosystems worldwide. From the Mediterranean to the Caribbean, these tiny travelers have adapted to various water temperatures. Scientists are looking at this jellyfish to help us understand human aging and cellular repair. By studying its DNA, researchers hope to find ways to treat degenerative diseases in humans. The goal is to unlock the secrets of regenerative medicine that this tiny creature has mastered. While they are biologically immortal, they aren't invincible. They are still part of the food chain. Predators like fish and sea turtles often eat them before they ever have the chance to transform. Pollution and habitat loss also threaten their survival, regardless of their regenerative powers. The immortal jellyfish is a testament to the incredible resilience and diversity of life on Earth. It reminds us that there are still so many mysteries waiting to be solved in the deep sea. The more we learn, the more we realize how connected we are to every living thing. As we continue to explore, we might find that immortality is just one of many secrets held by the ocean. The journey of discovery is just beginning, and there is so much more to see. Thanks for diving into the deep with us today. Stay curious and keep exploring the wonders of our world. See you in the next adventure. Deep in our oceans lives a creature that defies the very laws of nature, the immortal jellyfish. Turritopsis dorni is a tiny organism with a massive secret, the ability to live forever. While most creatures age and die, this jellyfish has mastered the art of biological rebirth. To understand its immortality, we must first look at how it creates life in two distinct ways. Sexual reproduction is the traditional path. Mature medusae release eggs and sperm into the open sea. Once fertilized, these become tiny larvae known as planulae, which drift until they find a surface. These larvae settle on the seabed, transforming into something completely different, a polyp. From a single larva grows a complex colony of polyps, all sharing a common vascular system. This is where asexual reproduction begins. Through budding, the polyp colony clones itself. Each new medusa is a genetic copy of the original polyp, ensuring the lineage continues. Eventually, these clones mature into the free-swimming medusae we recognize as jellyfish. But what happens when things go wrong, when faced with starvation or physical injury? Instead of dying, the immortal jellyfish triggers a process called transdifferentiation. Its cells actually transform. Muscle cells can become nerve cells or even reproductive cells. The entire organism reverts back to its juvenile polyp stage, essentially starting its life over. This cycle can be repeated indefinitely. In theory, this creature never has to face old age. Because they are practically immortal, they are spreading rapidly, hitching rides on cargo ships. This global, silent invasion is changing marine ecosystems in ways scientists are still studying. Researchers are fascinated. Could the secret of the immortal jellyfish help us understand human aging? By studying their genes, we hope to unlock new treatments for diseases and cellular damage. While we search for answers, the jellyfish continues its quiet, eternal dance in the depths. It reminds us that nature's capacity for innovation is far beyond our imagination. From sexual spawning to asexual budding and the miracle of transdifferentiation, nature's true survivor. Imagine an animal that never truly dies of old age. Meet Turritopsis dorni, the immortal jellyfish. This tiny marvel is barely the size of a pinky nail, yet it has achieved biological immortality. Its bright red stomach, visible through its transparent body, is its most distinctive feature. When stressed or injured, it doesn't die. Instead, it begins a miraculous process of cellular reversal. It transforms its adult cells back into juvenile ones, returning to its earlier polyp stage. In just 36 hours, it resets its biological clock, essentially starting its life over again. Theoretically, this cycle can repeat forever, making the jellyfish biologically immortal. These tiny travelers have spread from the Mediterranean to oceans all across the globe. A true pioneer of nature, mastering the art of the fresh start. Nature's mysteries are endless. Keep exploring the wonders of our planet. Goodbye. Imagine a creature that can live forever, not in a myth, but right here in our oceans. Meet the Turritopsis dorni, the immortal jellyfish. It has achieved what humans have only dreamed of. When stressed or injured, it doesn't die. It resets its biological clock back to its earliest cellular state. It returns as a polyp colony, budding off hundreds of medusae that are perfect genetic clones of the original. This resilience allows it to spread globally, hitchhiking silently in the ballast water of massive ships. While biologically immortal, they aren't invincible. Predators like sea turtles still pose a real threat. The immortal jellyfish is a tiny master of time, challenging our very understanding of life and aging. Deep beneath the waves, a tiny creature holds a secret that challenges everything we know about life and death. This is Turritopsis dorni, a species of jellyfish that has achieved something truly miraculous, biological immortality. Measuring only a few millimeters, this translucent marvel is the only known animal capable of reversing its life cycle. In the natural world, most creatures follow a linear path from birth to maturity and eventually to death. But when the immortal jellyfish reaches the end of its adult stage, it doesn't simply fade away. When faced with physical damage or environmental crisis, it activates a radical survival mechanism. It undergoes a process that essentially hits the reset button on its biological clock. Its tentacles retract, its body shrinks, and it transforms back into a ball of undifferentiated tissue. Inside, its cells are being completely reprogrammed through a phenomenon called transdifferentiation. Imagine if human heart cells could suddenly transform into skin cells or muscle. That is the power this jellyfish possesses. The jellyfish settles on the seafloor and returns to its earliest life stage, the polyp. From this polyp, a whole new colony grows, eventually budding off new medusae that are genetically identical to the original. Theoretically, this cycle can continue forever, making the jellyfish biologically immortal. But biological immortality doesn't mean they are invincible. In the wild, they face constant threats from predators. Most never get the chance to revert because they are eaten or succumb to disease before the process can begin. Still, their existence has sparked intense interest in the scientific community. Researchers are studying their genetic code to understand how they manage such perfect cellular regeneration. They hope to find clues that could one day help us combat age-related diseases in humans. While we are far from achieving human immortality, these creatures offer a roadmap for regenerative medicine. Originally from the Caribbean, the immortal jellyfish has now spread to oceans across the entire planet. They travel in the ballast water of ships, silently invading new ecosystems as global trade increases. Their ability to survive and thrive makes them one of the most successful hitchhikers in the sea. They remind us that the ocean still hides many of its greatest mysteries right before our eyes. It's humbling that a creature so small could hold the key to the most profound questions of existence. As we continue to study them, we may find that the secret to the future is hidden in the life of this ancient, tiny survivor. The immortal jellyfish, a testament to the endless possibilities of nature's design.